Today I'm here visiting the Dorset and East Devon coast, more commonly known as the Jurassic coast. In today's video we're going to be fossil hunting, visiting the Man O War Cove, Durdle Beach, Charmouth Beach, and having a look at the highest point on the south coast, the Golden Cap. But we're starting our journey here at the Man O War Cove, or the Man O War Bay. Some may even know it as Lulworth Cove. The ancients' terminology was the Great Rockery. So we're going to make our way round to the cove, see if we can get some nice shots of the opening into the sea. So where we're heading, we're going to try and head right over to the coastline over there, and to see if we can get some nice views up there, and then maybe after we're going to be going up there, up the rockery, and do a bit of mountain climbing. Let's go. Does look like there's been a few landslides over there. It don't look the securest of cliff faces. That water in this cove looks absolutely amazing. It really does. And as you can see there, the cove just opens up into the sea. So we're going to go round about over here, see if we can get a better view. So behind me is the opening to Man O War Cove, and it is quite something special here. There's some nice cliff faces, and we're just going to venture over this little rock face behind and go further around the cove. So we are trying to find fossils today as well, amongst the many stones that are here. But this is not one of the most popular places to find the fossils at Man O War Cove. Sorry. But what a lovely view that is. It's amazing. Right, let's go. That's where we're heading to, just over this little set of rocks, and see if we can go further round and get a better view at the opening into the sea. And like I say, you do have to watch overhead for any falling rocks or landslides, as you can see evidence of right here. Josh, keep your eyes out for rocks falling. So we've come across a sign for active cliff fall, which is, we've just realised, is all of this here. So we're actually going to turn back. We're not going to go any further than this, because we don't want half of that cliff face up there is missing, and it is literally down here. So we are going to turn back, and we are going to try and go up there, across the top of that cliff ridge, overlooking that beautiful sea. So I'm going to attempt to climb up the cliff face and see the views from the other side. Are you coming with me? Right, the best way up. I'm with my son today, by the way, but he doesn't want to be filmed on camera, and he's having the most amazing time. So right, here we go. We are venturing up this rock face. Oh, already the cove looks amazing. Yeah, we was just round there, but there was signs saying, well, you can see the cliff, you can see where the actual cliff has fallen, and we just didn't want to chance it any further. There's active rockfall. We didn't really want to risk it, so So we've just reached the top of Man O War Cove Ridge, Mountain, cliff face if you want. And I'm just going to spin you around. We're just going to walk up there in a minute, which is the peak of the Man O War Cove. But just behind me is the shoreline of the Jurassic coast, which stretches 95 miles. And from up here it's looking pretty nice. So it is pretty windy up here, and let's walk to the top and see the views. Let's go. Give you a side view. It's probably a little bit better, but that side is pretty amazing too. Amazing. So we are just coming up to the summit of the cliff face. I suppose it's probably about maybe 150, 200 metres, but you cannot get no higher than this at the Man O Cove, apart from behind me looks a bit higher. So you round and give you one last look before we leave Man O War Cove and head down to Durdle Beach is where we're going next. So no further access allowed. Habitat restoration in progress. So we will go no further. It does look pretty steep down there. And the ocean is looking pretty bliss as well today. So we're just heading over to Durdle, and we've come across this amazing natural cave down there. Have a look at that. It is something special. It's a hidden paradise in Dorset. So we're going to continue to make our way to Durdle. So we've just left Man O War Bay, and now we've got a mile hike across this cliff face to Durdle Beach, where there is a famous arch. There's still no rain, the sun's trying to come through. We'll meet you halfway up the hike. So about a quarter of the way up at the moment, up this cliff face, heading towards Durdle. And oh dear, it is tough going on the legs, we're not going to lie. But the clouds seem to be disappearing, which is a good sign. We'll see you a bit further up. So just behind me is Man O War Cove, and we've walked a little way up, and just directly behind just behind me is where we've still got left to climb to heading towards Durdle. Give the people some indication of just how steep this is. It is an absolute killer hill. But I suppose it's going to be real worth it. It's going to be worth it once we get up. But it is steep. It is so steep. just reached the top of the cliff. Looking back in the background, you can see the Man O War Cove, and we are heading towards Durdle. That is one steep cliff face we've just walked up. And just below here is the beautiful scenery of the sea and all of its rockery along the Devon coast. So we can see Durdle just on the Devon coast. The wind is starting to howl. But just behind that cliff face holds one of Dorset's hidden gems. And I think that the rock poking out just there in the view is known as the back cliff or the back cove. So there's Durdle just in the background there, and this is the closest car park to Durdle, but we parked at Man O War Cove and walked. It was about a mile walk, well worth the walk, but if you did want to get a bit closer to Durdle, the car park is 300 metres away there, but it is rather expensive here. I think it's like £20 for the day, and I think we ended up paying a tenner for 4 hours. So down there is Durdle Beach. Oh, what an absolute picture that is. So we're just going to head down there to Durdle and see the natural limestone carved arch that's been here for millions of years. Durdle is a natural limestone arch standing nearly perfectly vertical on the Jurassic coast near Lulworth in Dorset. It is privately owned by the Weld family, who own the Lulworth estate, but it is also open to the public. Music videos have been filmed here, such as Tears for Fears, Shout and Billy Ocean's Loverboy. Films have also been filmed here too, like Nanny McPhee. I was really lost for words when I see the arch. I just froze. So we finally made it. We're here at the famous Durdle Beach. The natural limestone carving. I'm going to take a head down to the beach and see if we can find any fossils and what the view of Durdle is like down there. Right, so we finally made it on Durdle Beach, and here is the famous Durdle. It's a natural limestone carving that's been here for millions of years. It rises vertically out of the south coast waters. Not forgetting this beautiful coastline as well. Dorset is really a #1 spot to come. So I'm going to take a walk along the beach after sitting here for about 20 to 30 minutes and see if we can find any fossils. If not, we're going to move on to the golden cap. The ocean is really sucked in there, some sort of suction or something going on down there. But the ocean really gets sucked out, and when the water comes crashing through that arch, it really is an amazing sight to see. It's quite windy today and cloudy, but the rain is holding off, luckily enough. So we're just walking along the beach, and there's not much sand about either. It is quite stony beach, and there don't seem to be many fossils about on the floor. That's it. Right, move back, Josh. So just in the background, you can see a white little house on top of that hill. That is where we're headed. Up the cliffside bridge, the mountain bridge, as those people over there are doing, and making our way to the Golden Cap. So we've just left Durdle beach, and we're on our way to Charmouth beach, where we're more likely to find the fossils. So we'll bring you back once we reach Charmouth beach. It's about an hour away, 36 miles to be exact. Yeah, about an hour from Durdle beach. So we'll see you there. That's it. Yeah. So we've arrived here at Charmouth beach. We had a lovely drive through the Dorset town centre, through Birdport. This is supposed to be the most common place to find the fossils, and that's what we're going to do. I've got my amazing fossil hunter, my son, with me today, who's going to be doing a lot of the looking to help me out to see if we can find one of these historic fossils. The car park to Charmouth beach is actually quite cheap compared to where we just were. It's only £1.50 per hour. To get over to the main side of the cliffs, there is a little footbridge. I think that is in shot. There's a little bridge just over there. We're going to cross the bridge. We'll be on the right side of the water. And yes, I'll just give you a quick view of where we are. Back over there is the little shop. And there's this little stream that runs under that footbridge, and it is part, well, I think it's like a river. I'm not sure what river it is. I will have to find out, and I'll probably put it in the text to this video of what river links the South Coast Sea. But what an amazing view that is. The big cliff face right in the distance there is the Gold Cap. I don't know if you can see, if I can zoom in a little bit for you. But as I zoom in, you may be able to see it's got sort of a golden top to it, which is why and where it gets its name from, the Golden Cap. So we're going to venture over the bridge and round there and see if we can find any historic fossil. Right, so we've just reached the bridge at Charmouth that leads to the cliff faces. Quite a nice little bridge as well, actually. So there's my my little fossil hunter on the shore in Charmouth, trying to dodge the waves. And we'll see if we can find anything. So fossil hunting has been practiced here for over 200 years, and finding your own fossil on the beach, there's no other feeling like it, knowing that no other person has touched it or even seen it in millions of years. So fingers crossed today we find a nice fossil. So it's hard to imagine that a place like this was once a desert or a tropical sea, and later turned into a swamp. But that is the history of the Jurassic coast. We've been walking up and down Charmouth Beach looking for some sort of fossil for the last hour, and we've finally found something worth showing you. And there we go. We've completed the mission of finding a fossil on the Jurassic coast. Give you a close-up view of the fossil. Amazing. There's no feeling like finding something that's been hidden away for millions of years, and knowing that you could have been the only person to have ever found that fossil or seen it or touched it. So I think we're going to end our lovely escape here, and we're heading back to Essex. We've got a 4-hour drive, maybe a 4.5-hour drive. We hope you all enjoyed today's video, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you'd like to see more. We'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.